Namaste. Well, in this life, there's only one game you can win. Everything else is going to fail. Because we are subject to death. Everyone has to die. So if your game is piling up material things, possessions, enjoyments, experiences, relationships, wealth, fame, power, designations, labels, positions, you have to give it all up at the time of death. There is no way to keep those things beyond the death of the body. Why? Because they're all related to the body. They're all based on the body. They're all connected to the body. They all belong to the body, not to you. You are not the body. After this body is finished, you go on to another body. Or if you're fortunate, you get liberation. That's the only game you can win. You know, in gambling, there's a saying, the house always wins. Well, in this universe, Maya always wins. She is the house. She is the creation, the universe. And by her laws, everyone dies. There's another saying in dramatics, everyone dies at the end. That's the nature of a tragedy, a type of drama, which is all negative. And that's the way life is. Life is a tragedy. Life is all negative. Life is all losses, except for one thing, and that is spiritual life. If you are pursuing spiritual knowledge, enlightenment, and freedom, you can win. Otherwise, you're going to lose everything. That's just the way it is. That's not my opinion. It's not my opinion that everybody's going to die. It's just a fact. It's not my opinion that you lose everything related to the body at the time of death. That's just the way it is. And it's not my opinion that whatever spiritual credits you manage to assume in this lifetime go with you to the next life or whatever. That's not my opinion either, because it's written in the scriptures that whatever spiritual gains you make in this life, you automatically start from that point in the next. So no effort is lost. Nothing is wasted. That spiritual gain always stays with you unto the end of the universe. So, is there any point in amassing spiritual life credits? Yes. Even though it doesn't give you exorbitant wealth or tremendous fame, or great popularity or power, or a beautiful body, or some talent like acting or music that makes you famous. It doesn't give any of those things. I mean, those things may happen as a side effect of having good karma, but that's not really what it's about, because all those things are temporary. Mystic powers, extreme knowledge of scriptures and rituals and yogas and stuff like that. Huh? It's all temporary. Why? Because it's all karma. It's something you create, a cause that you create by certain actions. But not spiritual awareness, because spiritual awareness is not a positive entity. It's negative, neti. It's a removal of the coverings that block our real knowledge, that obscure our real self, that hide our real identity. And when I say real, I mean permanent, eternal, that which is not born and never dies. That is the meaning of spiritual. If you think that spiritual life is something created, you're looking at it the wrong way. You're looking at it like another material acquisition. Or if you think that spiritual life is some kind of transformation, like the New Age people always talking about transformation. Change of any kind belongs to the material world, because God, spirituality never changes. That's the whole point. It's eternal. It's never born, never dies, never created or destroyed. So actual spiritual life is not collecting designations, initiations, realizations. That's a sucker's game. That is also part of the material creation. All these things are the booby prize. The only thing worth striving for is liberation, because that's permanent. And that's based on a negative process, neti. Removing the things that are unreal to uncover the thing that is real. And that is you. Brahman, pure consciousness, consciousness of consciousness. And that is the only game you can win, because that is the only game whose results are permanent, that never die, that are never taken away by changing material conditions or transformations. The spiritual gains that you make in this life are permanent. They become a part of you forever. And in the next life, you take up right where you left off in this life. And hopefully in this life, you can attain enlightenment, and then you won't have a next life. But you will simply become one with Brahman, which you already are. But that oneness with Brahman has become covered over by duality, separateness, boundaries, conditions, transformations. That's the nature of Maya. Maya means that which is not. Only Brahman really exists because only Brahman is eternal, permanent. Satchit Ananda, eternal existence, complete knowledge or perfect consciousness, and unlimited bliss. That bliss, that happiness, which is based on being and consciousness alone, is worth having, because all other forms of bliss are temporary and will go away. And even though, who was it, Shelley or Keats or somebody said, better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all? Well, loving and losing is not a whole lot of fun. In fact, it's suffering. The only love that we can win is that love that never ends. And that is the love of the self, love of God, love of Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Om Tat Sat. Om Shakti Om. Om Namah Shivaya.